Internet, I'm talking to you. I am calling you out, okay? You did Sao Paulo so dirty. Look, to be honest, I never really had any interest in visiting Sao Paulo whatsoever. And the reason for that is simply because you told me that there's no need. The internet claims that for the average tourist, Sao Paulo is nothing more than a layover city on your way to Rio de Janeiro. It is a business hub. It is bland. And as such, Rio is the only city in the entire nation of Brazil that gets any international attention whatsoever. In this video, I hope to try and change that because Sao Paulo deserves way better. My name is Josh and I am a digital nomad who lives in a different country every single month. Join me as I take a trip to visit Sao Paulo, the largest and most populous city, not only in Brazil, but in the entire Western Hemisphere. For this journey, I was joined by my friend Caroline, and together we only had about 48 hours to spend in Sao Paulo. Just 48 hours! But even though we had such a short span of time in the city, I still feel like we experienced 3 totally jaw-dropping moments that everyone needs to know about. The first is perhaps the most incredibly designed and curated museum that I have ever visited in my entire life. This is the MASP Museum, which stands for the Museum of Art of Sao Paulo. Now, I visit a lot of museums. There are quite a few segments in my past videos on this channel about them. But honestly, this one is different, and I really think that anyone can enjoy it. Firstly, the paintings and the sculptures in the permanent collection are exhibited in an open space. They're not hanging on the walls. They're instead on these transparent, freestanding structures that are sort of set up in rows throughout the room. Now, my friend Caroline, as it is a former art history major, and she was absolutely freaking out here because you can physically see the backs of the paintings, which is actually really cool if you know what to look for, because they show you the histories of the different museums that have owned the pieces in the past. Beyond that, the exhibit is also set up in such a way that as you move farther towards the back of the room, you go backwards in time. And in all the rows in between, you are getting pieces from some of the most famous painters in all of human history, including pieces by Van Gogh, Cezanne, Renoir, Monet, Picasso, and so many more. And we are not talking about this place? Why are we not talking about this place? It's such a great and accessible museum. And on top of all that, when I visited, they had an incredible LGBT exhibit in the temporary exhibit hall, which was so gorgeous and beautiful and thought-provoking and just made me so proud to be a member of the queer community. This was an all-timer for me. Holy guacamole. And all of this was within our first 4 hours of arriving into the city. We were just getting started. I left that museum so creatively inspired. Like I wanted to just like write a poem or paint a portrait of a stranger. But all of that had to be put on hold because we had been traveling and sightseeing all day and we were very hungry. After doing a little bit of research, we decided to have dinner at a place called Bark and Crust. It's effectively a meat house and it's sort of a hybrid between Brazilian barbecue and barbecue from the United States. The photos and videos online looked amazing, and since I had the luxury of getting to share everything with Caroline, we were able to go really hard. We ordered the T-bone steak, we ordered some mac and cheese, we ordered the potato salad, we ordered some coleslaw, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if this ends up as my top meal of the entire year. Add in the fact that we had a server with enough personality to just fill the room. Shout out to the whole team at Bark and Crust, honestly. We packed up our leftovers and headed back to the Airbnb to watch Severance, but oh my god, like what a day! Sao Paulo was already absolutely blowing me away, and we had another 24 hours to go. We woke up early the next day because there was something that I could not leave Sao Paulo without seeing. This is BECO do Batman, and essentially this is a heavily graffitied part of Sao Paulo's Vila Madalena neighborhood. It's called BECO do Batman because, of Batman, but it's actually covered in pop culture references from across the board, including various animes, real-life celebrities, characters, and more. One of my very favorite things about South America is the appreciation for graffiti as an art form, and the fact that this neighborhood has become become an open-air gallery for these incredible artists and a popular tourist destination at the same time is really beautiful. We were there early, so we had the chance to just walk around and enjoy the sights for a while. I think that maybe this turtle art was my favorite. I don't know, I'm still deciding. It's all so good. And we actually had a little bonus treat because just as we were leaving, we sort of stumbled on this little chocolate shop called DENGO. Now, normally I wouldn't mention something like this, except the people inside were just so energized and full of life and friendly, and we ended up sitting down and we had a little bit of extra time, so I ordered a hot chocolate and it literally made me gasp. Like, it was actually made with proper Brazilian chocolate right here on the premises. And it was just so thick and creamy and authentic and flavorful. Like, I don't think I can ever have a boring packet of Swiss Miss hot chocolate again after this. And my favorite part about DENGO is that we really just stumbled in off the street. That said, feel free to plan to go here, because if you're going to BECO de Batman, definitely stop in to DENGO for some hot chocolate. These drinks were so good that they almost made us lose track of time. But luckily, our Uber arrived just in time to get us over to the city center. Now, I usually try to do these as soon as I arrive. Free walking tours are a lovely thing. I've met some of my greatest travel friends on these tours, and they really give you such a fantastic context of the city that you're visiting. But they don't happen every day, so for us, with only 2 days in Sao Paulo, it was now or never. I'm glad we chose now. The walking tour of the old downtown area gave us a chance to take a glimpse at everything that we wouldn't have more time to explore for ourselves. It covers it all: churches, markets, architecture, food, shopping. Midway through the tour, we actually got the chance to take a break at the Santa Teresa Bakery. Here, I got to have a delicious bite of pão de queijo in the oldest bakery in the entire city, a business that opened way back in 1872. Now, if you don't know, pão de queijo is basically just cheese bread. Except clearly they cast some sort of magic over it in Brazil, because it is especially delicious here. After the tour, we made our way back over to the Mosterio de São Bento, which is a beautiful cathedral in its own right, but their real claim to fame is actually that within this monastery, they brew their own beer and bake their own bread. It's very wholesome. They also actually had some live organ music being played, which sets the stage for the whole thing. I've been inside a ton of churches just like this throughout my travels, but rarely do they have live music being played. It felt like a little bit scary. I don't know, I liked it. With the rest of our evening, we grabbed an Uber over to the Liberdade neighborhood, which is essentially Sao Paulo's Japantown. It is so lively and so beautiful and filled with so many great Asian restaurants. And if you know me, you know that I'm obsessed with Japan. I spent 2 months there last year, and so getting to see this side of Brazil was really exciting for me. Brazil actually contains the largest number of Japanese people in the world outside of Japan itself, and many of them are concentrated right here in the city of Sao Paulo. This area represents such a beautiful and fascinating blend of cultures, and I love it so much. But as we watched the sun setting over Liberdade, we knew that it was time to head back to our Airbnb. But after 2 incredible travel days in Sao Paulo, and I mean it, just like really fantastic days of travel and food and art and culture, just all at the highest level, I was feeling so fulfilled, but I was also feeling a little bit bitter. Like, why? Why, internet? Why are you so uninterested in this city? I could easily have spent probably 3 more full days in Sao Paulo, and I would not have run out of things to do. And I just feel like not nearly enough people are talking about it at the global level. So I'm trying to change that. I have nothing but good things to say about this city. I absolutely loved it. And if you're watching this video, you must be at least a little bit curious about visiting for yourself. Take this as your sign to go to Sao Paulo. It should be on every list of the best cities in the world, because in my opinion, it is. I love it. I can't wait to go back, and I can't wait for you to get to go and to experience it for yourself. Hello, you're the best. You stayed until the end? This is great. This actually might help me with my abandonment issues. Thank you. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, because I have more Brazil videos on the way. If one is out, click here to watch it, or if it's not, whatever it is, click on it to watch it now.